This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Live from the Culture Lab in the ATL, you know what it is. It's time for Big Facts. What's up, Big Bank? What's up, Baby J, DJ Scream? I'm here. We got a special guest today, KP the Great, Kawan Prather, whatever you want to call him. He's here. He about to chop it up on Big Facts. What's up?
My dog, what's up? Appreciate y'all for having me. Appreciate it.
What's up, KP? You good?
Yeah, I'm great, man.
You great?
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that many people do know, but many people may not know, is how impactful you've been to helping artists ascend from ATL culture and even beyond that. So, I guess the thing I want to ask you first is like, what was the first act that you are responsible for or partially responsible for bringing through the door?
Take us back to the PA days.
Oh shit. Okay, so yeah, I guess that would be the group I was in, PA.
Parental Advisory, right?
Parental Advisory. Sure. Yeah, that was like 92. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we ended up getting signed. Pebbles. We met Pebbles at a TLC video shoot where it was audition for a video shoot, and she let us audition and signed us, and that was the start of it.
And you were rapping at that time?
No, DJ.
The DJ for right. Gotcha.
But it somehow it always seemed like I was the spokesperson.
Yeah.
Like I kind of ended up being the mouthpiece a lot.
Yeah. You know, so where are they now?
Reese, first of all, he produced like both of those Lloyd, you and
Get It
All
Shot?
Around the World.
Oh, All Around the World.
Yeah. Yeah, him and Jasper did those records. And Mello still writes and works, you know.
Yeah.
Like Mello, I think, got a little more frustrated with the business side of it.
And then after Parental Advisory, the next act would be
that I'm responsible, like for walking out, because I've worked with a lot of people. Like it's weird because I don't know how to. It's hard to take credit for some of that shit because it's like you meet people who are talented and you kind of show up and support it. Mm-hmm. Like it's the credit thing is weird. It's like when people call somebody their artist. It's like,
I got you.
Nah, that's a person, nigga. Like,
but a lot of people, let's say, give you credit for a tip. They say, man, KP the reason Tip got through the door. Not to say he wouldn't have because he was Tip.
No, I mean, what it was is I was in the right place to recognize what he was doing when maybe people weren't paying attention or seeing it properly.
Right.
So, like, I just understood it. Like, I think that's really what it comes down to in any of this stuff. Like, especially artists trying to get signed and shit, and they just want to get with somebody. Like, it's so important to get with somebody who sees you.
Was it hard too taking some street music to LaFace? Because we heard that too, that it was like they wasn't really trying to.
Well, yeah, I mean, but what's funny is that's how I got my label deal. That's how I got Ghetto Vision because there was a period where I was almost gonna, because the group PA, we were signed to DreamWorks out in LA, and I would go out there for meetings a lot, and they offered me a job to come do A&R at DreamWorks, and when I found out how much they pay people as opposed to what I was getting paid at the time, you know, it was just like, you know, it was different. And, you know, it was just one of those things where it's like, oh man, this is the rate for what I do. So I came back. As a matter of fact, they gave me the benefits package. They gave me a whole thing before I left. So I came back to Atlanta, met with LA and told him about it, like really like sat down and was like, look, this is what they offering. I got a kid.
Like price matching.
Yeah, like more like just this. My OG still like it's still it's a real conversation. Yeah, it was a conversation based on like I know they're looking at me for what I'm doing here with us. So I'm not above and beyond that thought. But what he said was something real. He was like, well, that was a different that label is funded different. It was Steven Spielberg. It was like
because DreamWorks is the shit that we see at the end of the movies too. Like they don't understand.
Yeah,
that.
they were labeled too though.
Yeah.
So but they had movie money making records.
Yeah.
So you know he basically explained to me. He's like, well, my deal isn't that, but you know I understand if you do it. But what I also understood was going out there, I was gonna have to teach them what I knew, which was gonna slow me down. Whereas here in Atlanta and at LaFace, I was working with a team of people that I could throw no look passes to.
Right. So let me ask you this. So how did...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no,
Let's finish it. So, I don't know why I got off there, but my bad. So anyway, so when I had the conversation with LA, he was like, look, I can't give you that kind of money, but I can give you this opportunity and give you a production deal so you can do the things that you want to do. Because that was a part of it. It was like, you know, I wanted to do some stuff that wasn't necessarily LaFace.
Even Swap, No Swindle.
Yeah, like, you know, Youngbloods and T.I. aren't necessarily as shiny as some of the things that want LaFace.
Tony Braxton or, you know, somebody,
yeah. So it was like, it was, and at that night, I came up with the name because he was like, okay, well, let's do that. What, you got a name? And I was like, well, you know, your shit is shiny and whatever. My vision more it's like a little more ghetto. And he was like, okay. It was like Ghetto Vision.
Yeah. So that goes into my question. Like, how did you working at LaFace while simultaneously spearheading the whole entire Ghetto Vision movement kind of like mold you into the music mogul and cool ass nigga that you are today?
I was a cool ass nigga first.
Music mogul directly thereafter?
No, I mean, I think I became a music mogul based on the person I was. If that's if a mogul is what you want to call it. But it's like I got into every situation I've gotten into was based on me being honest and being myself. So, I mean, and you know, it's like I joke about the cool ass nigga part, but I'm like, I think what it is I'm just comfortable. So like no matter who I'm around, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I can see you for who you are and not be threatened by it, or you know, and I don't have to be intimidating to
a lot of
you
people
either.
aren't able to move like that.
Yeah, it's sad.
What was your role in what the Pharrell? What was I Am Other? What was the name of it?
I Am Other. So head of music for I Am Other. Like I went over there when I left Atlantic in it's like 2014. Yeah. So I went over there, like I left Atlantic, and when I left, I called him leaving the office, like, bro, like something had happened, and I was like, I had to leave, and he was like, well, shit, good, you can come run this shit now. And it was like really like it was like me being myself with people I know and trust. Those opportunities is kind of, they've been there for me. Like I'm blessed in that way.
What you think you do best, like creating or executing or what? Like producing, what do you think you do best?
I think it depends on what the situation is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've done enough of the jobs to know enough about them. It's almost like a foreman who's or a coach who played. Like because I come from being in a group, from DJing, producing, like all those things we were doing. I was making show tapes for dance groups in high school for talent shows. Mm-hmm. So I understood how to put a show together. Like so that led me into being like music director for Pharrell in his shows and shit.
Because you understood transitions.
Understood transitions.
Yeah.
And you know, it's again, it's like all my high school shit is all I'm doing. Like I'm kind of living a very immature ass life, but with understanding.
Yeah.
So how does it feel like to kind of bring your whole beginning full circle? I don't want to say to your end, but to your current now, from being the DJ that you are, but now you kind of perfected your craft and you're like one of the best of the best.
I appreciate that.
For real.
No, I mean, I've loved it the same the whole time. Mm-hmm. So it's never not been there. It's never not been a part of what I was doing. So if anybody met with me when I was at Sony as EVP of Black Music, there were turntables set up in my office. Like I would sit in there after hours, and like the records we were making, I would play them in context with other records I liked. Yeah, so it just made it easier for me to know if I really like this shit or if it's just like the moment, or it's just like put it in play. So that like the DJing part is probably the most consistent talent or the most consistent tool I done used in my whole career. Life. Yeah, because it's taste, it's reading the room, it's it's you have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Being in it so long, how do you continue to adapt to the changes of the music industry?
I still shop with my kids. Like I still go in the world where they go. So I'm not the get off my porch old nigga. I'm not that. I like seeing new people, new artists. I like hearing new music. So it's like, again, it's like I really just get to check shit out all the time. And I'm blessed in a way that people still allow me in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you discover Yellow Wolf?
How did I discover? You know what? Bear, Courtney Seals.
What up, Bear?
Bear hit me one day when I was...
Shout out to the South Side.
One time for my guy. When I was EVP of Sony Urban then, right? And Bear called me one day. It was like, hey man, I met this.
Man, you sound just like that nigga, man.
That's a pretty good impression of our brother Bear.
Yeah, man. I think you should listen to him. And so I flew down, and he performed for me, and like I want to say it was like a rehearsal space. It might have been Marvin's, but I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But it was fresh off of, they were having some kind of it was a conference down here. Mm-hmm. At the time. So he was coming from the conference to meet me at this rehearsal space, and he came in and performed. It was just me sitting in a chair, but he performed like Like it was a festival.
A full audience.
Like a festival. This nigga was jumping on shit on top of speakers. He
got a lot of energy.
Yeah, but he was busting.
Yeah.
So that night I was like, oh, and what I liked about it, he was Southern white.
Yeah.
So he rolled beats different.
Yeah.
Like, because the way I used to I'm not a person who rides around and listens to Eminem in the car. Mm-hmm. Like, appreciate how dope he is, but it ain't my thing. It's too for me.
Yeah.
Whereas Yellow Wolf,
dry.
Yeah, it was like it's on it, and Wolf, he rapped like with drawl.
Yeah.
So it had a melody to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he was doing that while performing his ass off. But I met him here in Atlanta through Bear.
Okay.
How engaged are you in like new music? Like, do you listen to a lot of new music? Do you be on playlists? Do you keep up with the new young waves and everything?
I ain't gonna say I keep up because it's hard to keep up, like and still have like a real life, like because it's so much.
We're streaming.
Like, but like I hear the things that cut through. I feel like I'm at my age, right? I'm not supposed to hear it first.
Right.
Like it's weird. Like I don't think that's my role no more.
Right.
Mine is to recognize when somebody else has got it, how I can help. So if it makes it to me, it's that kind of thing.
What's some names that stand out to you?
Stand out. I mean, and it's probably, I don't know if it's like regular, but it's like the Rod Waves. It's songwriters. It's
for sure.
Let me think. Like that's such a trick. Like obviously I see a lot of Jids.
Okay.
Moneybag Yo, 21. I don't know. Okay, and that's the other part. Like I know a lot of songs, but I don't know who sings these songs sometimes.
I'm with you.
I just don't like.
That's a vibe by
like,
somebody.
A little buddy from Detroit, a little dude from, what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. I know the sounds more than I know the people.
Yeah.
Because I heard a record yesterday from Shiloh, Dion's son, and that was like it wasn't bad, but it felt like what it feels like right now. Like it's like, oh, okay, that's
who
the
the
vibe.
other dude going crazy too.
The Ball.
Leangelo.
Oh gosh.
Is it Leangelo or LaMelo?
It's Leangelo.
Leangelo, yeah, I heard that one too. Like that, it's kind of jamming, but But again, it's not a lot of artists that I can like be like, I like that artist. I like a bunch of songs though.
Let me ask you this. So, okay, specifically talking about the Leangelo Ball record, do you think that people are gonna discredit the record because they feel like he's a gifted ball player?
I don't know if the world works like that no more. I think people accept what they like from whoever gives it to them, unless somebody supplies them with it more consistently. Like I don't think you got that kind of. I don't know if brand loyalty and that kind of shit. Like that's kind of that thought. I don't know if that applies as much in celebrity. Because the other part goes into what they going for. Like, is he going for being a forever MC, or does he just want to have a moment? Like he got an opportunity. Like you see Jake Paul and them take advantage of theirs. Like let why wouldn't we support him doing something if it's good?
Yeah.
What's your most memorable moment, like from Atlanta club scene?
Memorable moment. Okay, so this is like pre Money in the Air.
Exactly.
Okay, meeting Youngbloods and Chili Pepper, and seeing them in the club throwing a football across a balcony over a dance floor, but like having real fun, like Animal House style, like wild young nigga fun. Yeah. And I was like, that's
back when Buckhead used to be lit.
Yeah. But it was like that memory is stuck because it's like that feels like Atlanta to me. It's like it's people partying, it's bottles over here, it's football players over here, it's what I'm saying, it's some baseball, it's some dope boys over here, it's some out of towners, and it's these two niggas throwing footballs across the balcony. Yeah. It's like it's like and nobody tripping.
Facts.
You know one thing you mastered as long as you've been in the game? Oh, no one knows like personal stuff about you. Like
Man, don't start that shit.
No.
It's too easy to find out.
No, we're not trying to go to no bad personal stuff. I guess I'm just saying that.
Hey man, ain't nothing personal. I don't do shit.
Go ahead and nip that in the bud screen.
What are some positive personal things?
I get the studio. and
I go home. Studio, home.
Got you. All right, scratch that.
Nah, basically what he's saying, like how you avoid all the weird shit in this game.
Yeah.
I go home. Like legit, I go home at 2:00. You ain't never seen me out at the after. I just because I hear about it. Like and matter of fact, I've done enough pre-camera phone to know what it's like. So I'm cool.
But another part of that is the statement that I tell people that they say, in order to make it in this industry, you have to rock a certain way. You can be yourself and make it in this industry. Yeah, correct?
But it's where you want to make it too. Like I know where I'm trying to go. I know where I'm not trying to go as well though. So I just I know myself. Mm-hmm. So and it's not a judgment. It's just some shit ain't for me.
Right.
Like I like my kids. I'd rather kick it with my kids. If I got the time, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not working to support them, I'd rather kick it with them, see what they up to.
Yeah.
You have any regrets?
Like not signing?
Oh, absolutely not. Because I don't think anything works if you force it past that. Like everything I'm cool with everything I got. Every artist I'm associated with, every contribution, that was where I was supposed to be.
Didn't you miss Jeezy though?
I didn't miss him.
Not miss, but I mean,
no, it was.
You had an opportunity.
I did
to
have
be
an opportunity. Yes.
More of a part of.
Absolutely. But I was at a place that I didn't feel like he could get off what he was doing. I was at Sony. Sony's super corporate. I know how much time it takes to get shit approved. I know how they get if you make a move and they don't know. I understood what kind of artists could thrive in that, but I also knew how they could stunt his growth.
And you would be more of a hindrance.
Oh my God.
Trying to bring him into that mix.
And I still look at everything the same way. I'm like, at some point, I'm going to go home to Atlanta and I'm going to be in the club. He going to be in the club. And we're going to sit there and he going to be like, man, what the fuck y'all doing? And I'm going to know what they doing. Yeah, and I'm going to say, I told you, you shouldn't have did it. But it's just like, bro, this ain't what they do.
Yeah.
Like, so it was really a conversation like, man, I met with him and Jazzy the same day they went over to Def Jam. I was like, bro, get your ass up to Def Jam. Like I'm really,
cause they get it. They get what he's doing.
Yeah, you got Shake over there with Shake is over there moving LA. Like there's somebody who is listening, but there's also somebody who understands. Yeah. Right. Like I understand it, but if I understand that the person I got to talk to move things out the way, if they're gonna question it, if they want to understand it too much, it's gonna fuck up the flow.
If you have to do too much explaining or take too much time to break it down.
Yeah, that shit be over.
Yeah, the wave is gonna be gone.
Yeah, no, you missed that bitch. It's like break point. You done.
Yeah.
What role you played in that Kendrick? All right, y'all got a Grammy for that one, right? Mm-hmm. What role you play?
I contributed, like I feel like that's one of the ones I contributed. I heard something. I said it to Pharrell. He was like, "Yeah, fuck it." And kept it, and they did it for another artist. That artist didn't like it, or they didn't feel it the same way. It sat for a year or two. Kendrick heard the hook that me and Pharrell had done before, and wrote everything else. And yeah, shit. My role was shit. I rolled that bitch out. I rolled with him. Like I contributed and appreciated that whole moment.
How many trophies you end up getting in this game since you've been?
Trophies? I mean, like a Grammy. I got a Grammy, but I don't. That was the first award I've ever got. Actually, like other than like you'll get a 40 under 40 or you'll have a hot year like at a label and you'll get some shit, but like a real like peer group, music industry wide, the Grammy. But I'm cool with that because it happened in a point where I needed it to happen. Like at that point where you're like, oh shit, this might be about over. And and doing what I would normally do in a space with people I would normally do it with still turned into something that was like more like the blue check to the career type shit.
Mm-hmm. What's the balance between like creating and business?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a balance as much as it's got to be an understanding. It should be an understanding of who does what and who knows what. Because I think people try to do all of this shit, and that's where it go bad. Like a lot of times, because everybody wants to be like. That's why I'm scared of that mogul thing. Because it sounds like I do it all, and it's you need teams, right? So you have to respect the positions, and you got to understand the position and know who to put in them. And I think a lot of people jump into it because it's easier to get famous than it is to be successful.
Facts.
What do you think street music or street music and the culture of it started in Atlanta? Like who was the first artist or one of the first artists?
The Hard Boys.
The Hard Boys for sure.
Hard
Boys for sure. Yeah. For sure. That's the answer to the
Done.
question.
Like, get me out of that shit. I know.
But where did it go from there? Give us a little bit of the journey.
Trying to
Like,
get you back in it.
where did it go from there? Give us a little bit of.
I mean,
the
it depends on what you're saying.
it.
Street, because it's like, okay, Kilo to me is street music based on who was paying for it.
You can't leave out Ghetto Mafia either.
See,
Ghetto
that's what
Mafia for sure.
See what happened.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's a bunch.
Wicked. Shout out to them.
Man, shout out to everybody who made a record that inspired everybody who made another record.
Yes.
Gotcha. I guess it was sad because they just looked.
Well, that'll get that.
They just looked at us at one point because it was kind of just that. It was just booty shake. They say, even though some of the booty shake people might have been street.
I'm just saying that street music because who was making it? Who was putting it out?
The street niggas were making the booty shake music.
Yeah, street niggas could dance. Hammer was a street nigga.
Yes, we had that discussion.
It's like
Jay
what's
does
your
not want to talk
definition?
about
Like, like I don't know what. Is it just someone who hustled? Is it just someone who literally sold?
What I'm saying is like how, and we won't go there, but trap music, street music, that feel of you get in your car at that time. I guess you in your Caprice Classic, whatever it is, and you got your speakers and you knock it. It's a different vibe than.
Like
riding.
Okay. I'll say this because I know what we're trying to. I know what we're getting at. Yes, to me, Tip started the pride of trap music by actually just saying that's what it was, right? But there were people who were doing music about selling dope. There were people. There were drug dealers talking about dancing. There was everybody doing everything, but Tip put a stamp on it, right?
Right.
So. Like I'm gonna say, I feel like we ushered in a pride to, kind of like elevated or evolved hustlers. Like it's like, because it wasn't just pride of selling drugs. His first album started with "Still Ain't Forgave Myself." Like that's conscious rap when you think about it. It's just I'm aware of what's happening and I'm explaining to you because I'm aware.
Like
I'm smart enough.
Cole and all that shit.
Yeah. It's absolute. Like it's just him. It's first of all, Tip's super skilled as a writer.
Yeah.
Like that nigga can really articulate the moment better than a lot of people. And because that's his experience, he can express it like a couple of people can in a way that gives you detail and like where you feel like, oh, that's what it smelled like in there.
Like very vividly.
Yeah, so it's like, to me, I say it's like elevated street music. It's street music, but it's still art.
But I feel like going back to what we were just talking about how like it was the street niggas making the booty shake music. It's all about it was like there was street people paying for them niggas to make like the people. Not like okay, let me give you an example. Like just for instance, like the 69 boys with the fucking Tootsie Roll.
Yes.
These niggas were selling dope with gold teeth in Florida. But it wasn't nothing funny, swishy wishy about them or nothing. But they were that's you know what I'm saying. That's what was like. That's what was going on at the time. But it was just like I said, it was in blocks of time because like even at the Atlanta street niggas, dope niggas that were making booty shake music and they had all the money and whatever, and that were like rapping to the hoes about whatever they were doing. They were doing it because that's what was going on at the time. You had Freaknik, you had all this shit going on where it was like it was an up-tempo vibe and an up-tempo feel. Like, it wasn't like, okay, shoot 'em up, bang, bang. Niggas stand on the corner for 24 hours or no shit like that. Niggas were really getting money, having fun, fucking with hoes. So that's what they were rapping about. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't take nothing away from niggas. It was just like, that's the time frame that it came.
Listen, man, I think fun changes depending on the era. Like,
yeah.
like fun now, I mean, for me, I don't. That's the other part I don't go out a lot because it ain't fun. It's like it's just not fun. I don't like watching motherfuckers. I'm sorry, I don't like watching people just suck on hookah all night. Like it just.
We had fun to put it on though.
We had fun, man. Listen, but that's what I'm saying. But it's like it wasn't. The amazing shit is, as much as it's called put that shit on, wasn't nobody putting on. Everybody was just being themselves in clothes, in cool clothes.
Let me ask you something. I know it's a lot of losses come with this game and shit that didn't go as planned. Like, what type of lessons you learned from your losses?
Keep going, bro. Like the lesson is shit is going to happen to everybody. Like it's depending on what Again, it's your circumstance that dictates how bad or how good your shit can turn out, and that's decision making. You
got a moment where you put a lot of shit in and that shit just didn't go right for some strange reason. Yeah. That first Tip album. That first Tip album it didn't go right for a bunch of, like, now in hindsight I can see where it all went. That shit was hard though.
No, so I'm gonna say my part. It would be considered a brick based on how successful he is now, right? But it did the groundwork to get him
like a
set up. It was a mixtape. It's like it sold 170-some thousand copies in real, in physical.
Like hard time.
Yeah.
Tangible.
Yeah. But over 70 weeks. So that meant every week somebody else was like, oh, I fuck with that. Like it was selling like 5,000 a week for like 50-some weeks. And I was like, to me that made sense from a business standpoint. I'm like, okay, we need to be paying attention. Hey y'all don't, but it wasn't enough for the big company.
Was it the Benny Siegel record?
No.
What threw the project out to the people, you think?
Say that again?
What threw the project out to the people?
The Neptune record.
That's what I was just about to say.
I'm serious.
See, it would have been unheard of to put Dope Boys in the Trap out first, but that was the record. We all knew that was the record as soon as we heard that album.
Right.
What record y'all talking about?
Neptune, what's my name?
With Beanie Man.
What you talking about?
No, y'all talking about two different records.
No, me and him talking about the same
what's
thing.
My name?
What's my name?
What's my name?
It was on that.
I'm saying that's what they pushed. It was a great record.
No.
He's talking about.
No.
You talking about I'm serious?
Yeah,
I'm serious.
That's
Beanie Man. Okay, the Beanie Man.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So we did that record, right? And understanding that, okay, this is the lesson I learned. Don't show them all the shit you got. Because I knew Dope Boys in the Trap was the first single. Like we were like, oh my God, we about to set this motherfucker on fire. And we we're in Atlanta, but this is the time where
real quick. I'm sorry, there wasn't a record 2 Glock 9s before?
Yeah, that was on Shaft soundtrack.
Okay, gotcha.
That was a soundtrack record.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But no, when we got to, matter of fact, we did that record while LaFace was still in Atlanta to the Shaft soundtrack. I did that on Ghetto Vision. Like that soundtrack is on my label. But then LA went to New York to Arista. So in between that's when we were about to drop Dope Boys in the Trap. He goes to New York and everybody there is the New York radio staff. We can't put this out. Nobody can play this. We can't play Dope Boys. That's crazy. And I was like, all right. They were like, well, what about this this Neptune record? Because they were blowing up. And I'm like, that's my dude. Like I know that it's a dope record, but it's premature.
Right.
It's like
it was like you're reaching
for the message that Tip was getting across.
For what I knew the rest of the album was. Like everything else about it was Dope Boys. It was telling a story almost.
Exactly.
Like, so, but in that story, that part of the story is
the end before the beginning.
Yes, but you don't know why these things go together.
Right.
So anyway, all I did was I was like, all right, fuck it. But I put Dope Boys in the Trap on the B side of I'm Serious, and we just worked the shit out of that.
That nigga came back so hard at mid-time though.
Yeah. Even before the next time, the mixtapes, in the streets and all that PSC shit. Like he was, but that's the other thing I say about artists. When they know where they're going, you're not gonna stop.
That's why I say I contributed. I'm never finna take credit for nobody's work, like in their talent. Like it just is.
So basically, a label can fuck your whole life up.
No, a wrong decision. Like no different than the wrong chick. Like you know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's like you get into a relationship that's about your dreams. Some shit that's in your head. Yeah. So you gotta believe that these people you talking to get or believe you. Like that they see that you can pull off this shit you saying you thinking.
They gotta be able to see your ghetto vision.
Yeah. Or you gotta find the people who get it with you. Because that's the only way you're gonna work. It ain't a business, it ain't a game, it ain't nothing that you can play as a team and win big without having the right team. Like when you play spades, when you know your partner, y'all killing niggas. Because you can see, you know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
so LA end up dropping Tip, right?
they let him go. Like, dropping is a strange word, because we asked for him to let Tip go. Because I was going to take him over to Columbia with me. But then I got there, and that's when Flip was there. And we were about to do the deal, and in a meeting, somebody asked him a question about Flip, and I was like, "Oh, this gonna go bad." So, so when you do
LA wasn't trying to miss that no more. After he let Tip go, he started believing in Atlanta music. Then after that,
well,
rappers.
He still, you know, he still believed in certain people. Like, he believed in Future because he believed in Rico and Rocco.
Okay.
Like, he believed. Because Rico said Rocco knew, and Rocco said Future was it. And Future was Rico's cousin. He's like, okay, it's a chance here that I think he understands, like, the proximity part.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm going to make sure somebody does understand. Yeah, somebody got to be involved that understands for real that I can communicate with.
They're like Shape.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, like, I had, like, I don't want to make it sound crazy. So I had a gang of success at LaFace. Like, because LA, I could communicate with him. Like, it worked in that way. Like, so I don't ever want to come off like, because even Tip says, like, it just wasn't for that time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like,
worked out how it's supposed to work out.
yeah, everybody worked. It worked the fuck out. Like,
What executive or visionary inspires you the most? Namely, probably from Atlanta, but it can be outside of Atlanta. Like, the person that you like, man, they be on it. Like,
Pebbles. Pebbles. She when we talk about like Ghetto Vision, like, that's like, she's the one who got in the streets in Atlanta. She's the one who found us, who found TLC, who you know, who kind of helped with imaging on Tony Braxton.
That's hard that you say.
You know,
Pebbles,
like,
that's hard that you say.
Because
Pebbles,
when you think about, she's an Oakland chick, she's fly already. Like, it's like it's being from it. So when you can go anywhere out of town to see it and know what it looked like and know, okay, this is or this ain't for me. Because you know what it feels like.
Who the GOAT producer from the city?
Depending on what you're talking about. Depending on you talking about impact or sales.
Just all around.
I'm gonna say organized noise. If we're gonna do all encompassing, if anybody got something to say about that, call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Peter Great.
Yeah.
Nobody never said that though. Shout out to Rico, man. Long live Rico. Nobody never said that though.
Because I think people put so much on
numbers
and the put on. Like, I think what organized noise in the dungeon, I think what we represent more than anything is real people. And some of the more put on things feel goofy, and like, you wouldn't do that in front of your mama. Like, I still like my mom. I like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I be around my folks. I be around my kids. So I don't think real and foundational Atlanta folks are really like, they just want to get on about their business and make their money and be able to handle, you know, their responsibilities.
Right.
What artist had the biggest impact out of Atlanta?
OutKast. OutKast. Who?
You know, I'm going to go with the 6. Future.
But how? No OutKast, no Future.
You right.
Impact.
You totally right. Impact. No, that was inspiration from him. You got inspiration.
He learned.
He did. When you put
Same
it like
cup,
that.
Same cup.
But how did the streets move when Jeezy and Tip dropped? I mean, Jeezy and Pluto dropped.
OutKast sold 10 million albums, bro.
Yeah.
The streets everywhere. All the streets bought it. Like 10 million.
OutKast, you gotta understand. OutKast,
Like, the streets ain't just right there.
OutKast made people who wanted to be in music kind of in Atlanta at the time. You got to think, doing music. If you told, like, I told my family I'm finna do music, they were like, "You what?" Like, but after we saw OutKast, it's like, man, maybe we can do music on this level.
I guess you probably can't compare the eras.
No. I mean, because the era that Future's in, he's the biggest of it. He's gonna impact a bunch of people after him. Like, think about all the things post because actually Gucci, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a bunch of it's all bricks. Like to me,
It's just like trying to compare LeBron and Michael Jordan.
yeah, you can't have
Yeah, you
one
can't
without
put
the
no
other.
one. You gotta put them all.
So
together.
I'm just saying that.
No, you right.
I'm just saying the first to do it on a scale to give us pride.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jermaine was the first with hits. Well, no, Dallas was the first with a hit. Matter of fact, Dallas produced Hard Boys. So it's like
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
See,
I did not know
so
that
it's
at
like
all.
so everybody. It's hard to claim. I'm just saying that
You know this shit.
the reason I'm gonna say organized is based on at a moment where everybody was paying attention, our crew stood up and gave it pride to where you don't have to be from New York, you don't have to be from LA to be seen on a global scale.
Them facts. In fact, big facts.
In these golden great conversations, I just got to throw this is a random thought I just had. Why Lil Jon don't ever come up in these conversations? Just
Because
curious.
but that goes into that. What do we, what's the crazy? It's too like the crazy shit is Atlanta is so dope and it's so full of amazing
Talent.
Like I'm talking about like GOAT level talent. It ain't like
Lil Jon
it ain't
had
regular.
He had like a
Lil Jon did, yeah,
Like there's no
Like, you know
there's
what
no crunk without Lil Jon. at
yeah,
all.
none of that.
Like,
But I'm like, think about this. He went from
how long that
BRB.
shit last though.
5
But
years.
it's still
Yeah,
it's
5 years.
still.
that shit
Yeah,
was,
that's
that
real
shit
too.
was going
Still,
on
yeah,
strong.
you're right. It's
Still.
still instated. You're right.
Is they
Cause
at
being
one
real,
extreme
he
at one
opened
hold
up-
on at 1 o'clock in the morning? Where are you in your set?
Lil Jon at that time.
Cause he opened
It-
up Youngbloods.
It's gonna start. It's gonna
world.
either you gonna go there or you gonna go blow the whistle. Like then think about all the shit John did.
You got timeless records.
No,
Dirty
nigga,
Gang
That's
no.
what I'm saying.
Like to me,
Yeah.
John is like Dr. Dre level producer.
That's
like
what
he
I'm
is
saying.
high
Yeah.
level
Don't come
ignorant
Oh,
shit.
he just doesn't get the credit.
Because you don't think about because it looks so fun. You don't think about how
How much
talented.
work actually goes into
Yeah,
shit.
like that ain't by mistake. He's been doing this whole time at this same level. Like
Yeah, Lil
even
Jon
when
is
we
the
weren't
truth,
thinking
man.
about it, he was still shots. Like it's still
Pit
happening.
bull, like yeah.
So it ain't it's like that's why it's hard to say who's the GOAT, who's the best. Like man,
It's
it's so
hard,
many
right?
dope niggas here,
Yeah,
bro.
nah, you right.
And even though we don't like really hear from him that as much now, like you can still drop a Lil Jon record in Vegas in a mixed club and that shit turns upside down.
Lil Jon is the common denominator in fun, my nigga. Like
Yeah.
no matter where you go.
Yeah, that's the most accurate description I've ever heard.
Where
in
the
life.
East Side boys at though?
I know we need to get them on there.
I
East
mean,
Side
they,
Boys.
I
man.
mean,
Pull
I
up the big
assume they
facts.
doing Eastside Boy shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like they still performing.
They still got the gas cans?
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shouts out to my nigga Dub. Dub managing.
Yeah.
You know
Managing
Dub.
the East
He
Side
ain't
Boys?
gonna
You
ask
know
the
Dub.
question that he know what they doing.
You know Dub, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He manages the East Side Boys?
He trying to get them on here.
What are they
Tell
doing?
them pull
Hey,
up.
man.
Working. Shit.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They are being the Eastside Boys, but they're just not with Lil Jon.
Okay,
Every
dare I say this?
every
though?
record that is Lil Jon and Eastside Boys, they have the right to go and perform.
No, I know they have the right and all
No,
of
I'm
that.
just saying
Not
that-
taking nothing from nobody. And like I said, dare I say this?
There.
But is there an East Side boy without Lil Jon?
What was Lil Jon and
And
the
the
East
East
Side
Side
Boys? Two elements.
yeah.
That's just like saying Diana Ross. and
It
the
could have just
Supremes.
been Lil Jon and them.
Okay, so at the moment, the Supremes, in
Supremes,
that
yeah.
moment,
I mean, the Supremes can be the Supremes, but in the total scheme of things, not taking anything away from
No,
them
no, no.
because they contributed to the total package. Of
okay,
it.
so this goes into that. Do you think it would be fair for them to be doing as much as Lil Jon based on how much Lil Jon does?
No,
So yeah, so they're doing their like
the
proportionate.
amount of East
Yeah.
Side boy shit that
Yeah.
is capable for them to do.
Yeah,
Say less.
What you what's your proudest moment? Proudest accomplishment?
in music.
Yeah, music.
Oh. Shit, still being here.
Being relevant still. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's relevant, but I'm here.
Nah, you
Like
got
I know I got the opportunity to keep doing shit. Like so I'm proud that I ain't clowned out.
Okay. What about the movies? Y'all done tapped into the movie side now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Lego now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a Lego movie. I'm a Lego. Like I got a whole
I
Lego.
remember that. I
so
saw
you know,
that.
man, that's cool.
You hard.
Yeah, so
You hard.
I mean, I don't know a lot of niggas with Legos.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, in Atlanta, I'm the only nigga with a Lego.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, niggas can't say that.
I got a Lego. So
Yeah.
that's I'm proud of that. Cause my kids like that. They think that's the coolest shit I done ever did. So yeah, actually I take that back. Yeah, the Lego being a part of Pharrell's documentary is a good one because I think it's just it's super creative and it affirms that I'm in the right company for the things that I like.
Mm-hmm. How important you think it is to be around the right people, surround yourself by the right people?
Oh, that's a paramount. That's job one. Like if you around the wrong person for what you're trying to do, you're always in jeopardy of that person doing some shit they were gonna do. Like, and the thing is, you know what they gonna do. Mm-hmm. Like we done all just brought somebody anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying, and then they get there and they do some shit they were gonna do, and you like, that's me then. So I think the most important shit in all of this is discernment. I watch your evolution, right? Since being in the public, like from the Mac to now, right? And it's like based on your experiences and based on what you're exposed to, you process shit different. Right. I can see it. You can see it happening to the point where the shit that I've seen you tolerate and not is different. You know what I'm saying? It's like all that shit is based on the people that you're around.
Facts.
So yeah, I think it's A1, job one. Figure out who around you, because if you in a circle full of squares, you got a waffle, my nigga. Like you are not doing well.
You got a waffle.
That's hard.
What's the stuff in the industry or the culture right now that makes you cringe?
Other than hookah.
You said the hookah. You ain't letting off that hookah.
Nah, you know, cringe in real life, bro. I don't.
Start a petition. I'll sign it.
What's the petition?
And put that shit down.
The section took the fun out.
It did.
Section for sure.
It did, because you gotta have somewhere to put the hookah.
Mm-hmm.
So was it the section or the hookah?
Which came first? I don't know.
I think it was the section.
Oh, that shit goes hand in hand, man.
You can't stand up and be smoking. Well, maybe you can.
Yeah, I burnt my hand because somebody was walking around the club with a hookah, and behind me, I gave somebody some dap, and I'm like, man, put the shit down, bro. So that's where my trauma come from.
Yeah.
That makes me cringe. I don't pay attention to shit I don't like.
Real shit.
Like if it doesn't affect me in a positive way, I don't invest. So yes, I don't cringe that much. Just hookah.
You think Beyonce is the greatest performer of all time? It's kind of random. We just floating on social media with the whole Christmas performance.
Greatest of all time?
I mean, just performer.
No, bro. Michael Jackson is the greatest.
Michael Jackson,
James
performer
Brown,
of all time, for sure.
Like, you know, and it's not that she's not great. Like, she's obviously great, but yeah, I think.
So when he's in the space of his own.
Yeah, because that's like flat foot. Without anything, he's Michael Jackson. You know, he's all of it.
No
is
backup dancers, no none of that. Just
and I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying that he did that in a way that I remember that the most.
So
it's the person that she references. It's the person that, you know.
So when you come to that next tier, Beyonce, Chris Brown, Usher, all that type, like what happens in that tier, in your opinion?
What's the question?
The question is, who's better out of all of them?
Better? Oh, nigga, come on! You talking about this girl who runs the nation of women?
Right.
Like,
right.
Like, you know what? She the best.
Yeah,
okay.
She the best.
Okay.
Like, ain't nowhere around that. Like, she has a army of people.
The nigga you put it in the category with, you ask them, they'll say she.
Yeah, they gonna have to. Like, there's nobody's disputing that. Well, you say all the time, I'm saying Mike, but I'm saying up now. She yeah. Come on, man. Who's doing it at that level with that kind of excitement, that kind of fandom? You know, like, yeah, you got to give her that. Like,
if you had a chance to curate the Super Bowl, who'll be your first artist?
The shit.
Halftime show.
Any halftime show.
Yeah, just one. Like they say, okay, we're gonna let KP do the halftime show this year. Who would you put up though?
Oh no! If you said this year, I'm still going Kendrick. I'm gonna go Kendrick, but I would dress it, some things around it. But I think he's the most important hip hop artist. If he might be the most important black artist we got right now, based on what he's doing, based on what he stands for, based on what he says, and based on normally that's not commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think like on the performance shit, like current artists and their performances might limit their longevity a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, if you can't perform, you can only do what your song does. Because there are like, when we talk about Beyonce, she's the star. She's made it past what her song is. Like, because if you think about the Renaissance album, right? That's a huge tour, but it wasn't the album with the biggest record on it of her career. Like, she's solidified herself that she knows that she has this already. Now she understands culture and taste, and she's being an artist and a performer. So you can sell a performance. You can sell a performance without a song.
She's turned herself into the product.
No, she's always been the product. Yeah. Like, she's always understood that the songs are fuel for her car. Like the better the song, the bigger you're gonna be. Like the more people can understand and relate to the song, you have a better opportunity. It's like saying hello properly.
That makes sense. So 2025, what's the goals for KP?
Goals?
As accomplished as you are, what are your goals now, like moving into this new year, new chapter?
I have a TV show that I came up with my homeboy Guy and a friend of ours, Britt Matt, wrote that I want to get off. That's it. Like, that's.
Put me on it, bro.
But the thing is, you would be on it. Like that. Like it's really a dope. I mean, I think it's a dope show, and it's a real human. It's an Atlanta human show. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I got a
Atlanta
TV
human.
show.
Was it comedy? What is it?
It's like it's situational comedy, but it's I can't do this on the podcast, but it's smart. I say that.
So now I'm gonna go back to the movies. So you really into the movie shit, like filming the movies and shit now?
Yeah. I mean, like I'm learning too, because it's like I'm not acting like I know this is something I want to learn.
About that, like he really directed.
No,
he
is,
see that
and he paying the price. Like he is paying for his learning.
He doing it.
Yeah, he like
they sent me some money for that little role. Like,
yeah, I mean, because no, it's real shit. It's like, look, we really want to do this shit in a way that's a business, not like this ain't vanity shit. This ain't like. I think I pride myself on the fact that all the people I deal with really want it in a way that's past ego. It's almost like I gotta do this. Like, they're creative in a way that they can't help it. So it's like, you see Tip out here doing comedy, he gonna do a movie, whatever he thinks, he gonna give it 100%. Like, and again, having the right people around you, that inspires you, because that, like, I've been thinking about this show for maybe 10 years. Like, I've just been writing random things that I'm like, that'll be dope. But in the last 2 years, I got it done. But that's partly because being around somebody who don't go to sleep, and it's like, man, what? Hold on, well, I'm up. I might as well finish doing my shit. You know what I mean? It's, it just goes back to that. Having the people around you that inspire you is super important.
How important do you think, like, to keep fruitful relationships? You know what I'm saying?
If they bear fruit, try to keep it. You know what I mean? Like, I think trying to do it is weird if you have it. Like, it's like that's a hard one for me, because I'm like, I feel like all the relationships I got, they were built over circumstance, situations, like character testing. Like, so I know who I'm dealing with, and they know who they're dealing with. Yeah. Like, so it's like, I think the weirdest shit is when people say, I'm going to this networking event. So you just about to go talk to like random people with no purpose, like just a room full of niggas who saying, I want to meet somebody. Like, as opposed to go where the things you like are, right? You gonna run into people who like that shit too. Yeah. And then y'all gonna talk about some shit that y'all like, and be like, oh, I could do it. Like, all my relationships started in that space. Like I'm where I want to be, so that way I'm more likely to meet people I want to meet.
I can dig that.
What do you do when people say make it, like artists in the industry or just make it in the industry? What's your definition of make it or made it?
Not being dependent on somebody else's decision whether or not you do it again or what you do tomorrow.
What was your made it or made it moment?
I'm sure I ain't had that yet.
You said, yeah. Come on now.
I'm successful, but I'm not kick my feet up,
you
never
do
have
that
to do it
keep
again.
Fuel, because that is that the way that you fuel and motivate yourself?
I mean,
KP the Great has made it.
No, KP the Great is a destination. Like I'm trying to get there, bro. Like the great
You don't
part.
consider yourself great.
I'm consistent. I'm working hard. I think I'm great at being me for sure.
That's all that matters.
Like I'm the best KP out this bitch.
Then you made it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So but I also understand that I'm not. I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm done.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like I'll make it when I don't have no more to give.
Gotcha. Real shit. KP the Great, Big Facts. We appreciate you, man. Anything you want to say to the Big Facts supporters and followers in the game, motivation you want to give them for the 2025?
You know what? The real motivation is look in the mirror. If you like it, you good. If you don't, do better. Shit.
It's cold. Yeah. It's cold right there.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
That's what it
Big
is.
KP.
My nigga.
Partner.
Love and respect.
The Grizzly.
Salute to KP the Great. Pulling up the Big Facts. Make sure you check us out at www.bigfactspod.com.
Salute.